Welcome to Spuds TV, brought to you by Muscatel Subaru. We are in Monticello, and the Spuds will take on the Rogers Royals. This is a big matchup here between two top 5 teams. Depending on which polls you look at, you might have Moorhead as a number 3 and Rogers as a number 4, but either way, both teams are undefeated and really looking forward to this matchup. We will be connecting in with Larry Knutson and Kent McLeod shortly as they run the WDAY radio feed and are nice enough to let us patch into that. I want to say thank you to Alex Ryan for our broadcast engineer today. I'm Corey DeLorme, and I will attempt to do my best on the camera work tonight. So hope you enjoy the broadcast, and thanks for being with us here on Spuds TV, brought to you by Muscatel Subaru.
What we think will be an outstanding Moorhead Spud football performance tonight. They have reeled off 3 straight wins, all of which have gone into mercy time in the fourth quarter. That's the kind of games that they played. And it started with a 49-0 halftime advantage over Buffalo in game 1, the event that the Spuds were to win that one 56-6. And game 2 was the same kind of thing against Alexandria. Last week in game 3, again, a similar look to the game.
Yeah, and Moorhead has just been on fire offensively. They're hitting on just about every cylinder. I don't think they're quite running the ball the way they'd like to, but the way their controlled passing game has been this year, they haven't really had to rely on the running game as they have in the past.
We might have a chance to see George Yanforth a little bit more tonight with that in mind, because I suspect that Rogers is going to have the ability perhaps to stop those short passes. One thing that we also have to keep in mind with this is the Spuds not only have 2, they got 4 or 5 more than adequate receivers.
Absolutely, and he can spread around. They really can't just sit down on one. They can't say, well, we're going to sit on wall fall, or we're going to sit on the other wall fall, because they're getting hurt by other people. Plus the way they throw the ball to the backs also.
With the way that the Spuds offense has played so far, it has been overlooked, I think, the play of the defense. It's been just as remarkable as what we've seen on the other side.
It really has been, and I tell you what, when they shut down that good back from Alexandria, I went, whoa, they got something going here.
And so with that, the Spuds come into the game tonight at 3-0. Rogers likewise unbeaten at 3-0, and they have on their record a win over I think it was Monticello in game 1 that they had. And so we had a chance to see Monticello and what they could do. They're a very good football team. They beat Owatonna earlier tonight. So that's the kind of setting that we've got here tonight. It should be a real nail-biter.
I think so, and I think it's going to be one up front too. And I know that Rogers is very proud of how their defense plays. They like to be physical, and their offense line likes to be physical. They like to run the ball. They like to run the jet sweep. They like to run ISO. It's kind of old-fashioned football, only they're doing it with the 2 backs instead of 1.
We'll see how that all transpires as we get ready to play tonight. And, of course, with the virus in mind, the limited number of people available that will be able to be here and watch this game in person, and what has turned out for the end of October to be a very nice football evening.
It's a real nice evening. I tell you what, walking around and watch that whole game standing outside in my tennies. Couldn't have done that last week.
Well, you barely made it through the preliminary, though, with that.
My toes are starting to get cold.
Time is running down. We're waiting for the teams to come out and get ready for the start of tonight's game, and we will return to Monticello after this timeout. Taif Alawi, who has really put himself forward as a premier kicker in the Moorhead schedule, is on to open this game and will kick right to left as he spots it on the tee right at the hash mark at the 40-yard line. Back deep and waiting, Logan O'Neill for Rogers. He stands near the 5 as there is a dual return now set up for Rogers as we get this game underway. Alawi approaches, and here we go. End over end. This one will not get to the end zone as is usual, but gathered it rather at the 10. And the Moorhead Special Teams comes up with a nice open field tackle, tripping up the play and bringing it down for virtually no return. And with that, Rogers' offense comes onto the field to start tonight's game. And that open field tackle by the Spuds was Thomas Myers.
Yep, and nice job. They stayed in his lanes. But I tell you, he didn't kick it into the end zone, Larry, but he kicked that awful high. And I tell you, Moorhead Special Teams, they've got good speed. They got down there in a hurry.
It's another facet of the game that has helped the Spuds to a 3-0 mark as Rogers, who will rotate quarterbacks on every play, send one out to the far side as he tried to hook up over there. He overthrew the play to Logan O'Neill, who comes off that kickoff return to be a receiver, and it just simply was thrown wide.
Yeah, threw a little wide, and they tried to start right off. Team that we expect to be running the ball, and they start out with that little bubble screen right off the bat, but it was a little bit errant, and Spud's got a nice second down coming up.
Zach Evenson started the game at quarterback. He's a senior. Tyson Velasic is the backup. He's a junior. He's in the game now, and he hands off left side, and that power running game just really did not go very far. That front line of Moorhead has shown that they're very tough. Christian Vega leads the way, and, of course, always not far away and involved in the play is Julio Angadi.
Yeah, and also Jackson Godin. They tried to run that inside zone play that time, and I tell you, Christian Vega blew that up. He split the difference, which made him have to bounce it out, and then Godin and Angadi were there to cover it up at the end.
After 2 plays, a very short yard gain by Rogers, and now setting up on third down and just a little over 9 yards still needed. As they go to the shotgun or pistol formation with one man in the backfield, another receiver wide left, 2 receivers near side, down the line and looking. Here's a play out on the near side. It's up in the air. Did he make the catch? It was bobbled. Michael Olowo then finally hung on and he dropped the ball as it hit the turf. He did a juggling act to try and bring it under control, Olowo. And so with the incompletion, 3 and done for the Royals.
Yeah, and what they did is they brought him on an inside, not a slant, but kind of a crossing route. And he actually had to climb the ladder to go up and try to get you at his highest peak, and did a nice job of knocking it down, but could not quite put it away.
Spuds bring Brady Walthall back in punt return, standing outside. He's about at the 40-yard line now as he inches his way forward, anticipating the kick. The snap is there. The boot is way. It's low, bouncing and rolling. And then Walthall wisely decides to let it roll away. Did not take a chance on fielding. The Spuds are going to get great field position out of that change, and will bring the offense on first down.
Yeah, and that was just kind of a low, kind of fluttering punt, and it landed on about the 50, and then just kind of took a nice soft bounce, and I'm glad he didn't try to pick that up because there was too many Royals down there.
You know that he wants to.
Yes, I know he does.
So first down for the Spuds. And Blake Walthall is wide near left side. Trey Feeney takes the snap from center out of a shotgun formation, now slips into a pistol formation with the running back alongside him, George Janforth. A change of play and a change of direction here as Feeney steps in the pocket to throw, and he's going deep, and it is up and overthrown. He had Michael Haugo out deep on the far side. He got tied up with the defender at about the 35-yard line. The pass was overthrown there, and seldom does Trey Feeney start the game with an incompletion.
Yeah, that time, and nice route by Haugo. He just ran a just good old-fashioned post route out there, and the other 2 receivers on the side cleared it out, so it was just one-on-one. He had about a half a step on the D-back, but unfortunately Trey just overthrew it by just a little bit.
Spuds are at their own 41-yard line. We are just underway. There's been no score after Rogers went 3 and out on the game's first possession. Here's Feeney looking and throwing. He's got his man, Blake Walthall. And the Spuds are facing a defense here that they just really haven't seen before, in that it's very difficult to find an open man completely open.
Yeah, and again, that one he sailed on him a little bit, Larry, again, running that quick post inside there. He had about a step on him, but he actually threw that ball a little bit behind him. And pretty good pressure that time from the outside by Rogers.
So after 2 incompletions, it's 3rd down for the Spuds at their own 41-yard line. Blake Walthall now aligning himself, and he'll be a 4th receiver on the far right side, going upfield right to left. Trey Feeney takes the snap and looks under some pressure, steps into the pocket, got caught and is brought down. Feeney never had much of a chance. That broke down in a hurry as the Royals, who were there, and Tommy Gilmore, senior linebacker, makes the stop, and the Spuds go 3 and out on this first series of plays and will be punting away.
And also good coverage by the Royals downfield. He was looking to throw that quick post again, and the guy came up underneath, and he couldn't, so he had to step up. They also brought pressure from the outside. That was the first blitz I've seen so far.
On this punt formation, Mahmoud Jonas is a blocking back on the near side. Trey Feeney lines up as though to run the play as a quarterback. Instead, we know that he's a quick kicker, and he's got a good pooch out of the pocket and a great roll upfield inside the 20, inside the 15, inside the 10, and rolls down inside the 5-yard line.
Wow.
That is a 55-yard punt from Trey Feeney as he kicked over the coverage and got a friendly roll.
Yep, and again, he's just doing that from about 5 yards deep, so it's a quick kick, and they were playing defense because you never know if the Spuds are going to go for it, so they had to play defense. Nobody back there, and he got the perfect roll that time, and after that ball hit, it rolled about 20 yards, and that pins them inside the 5.
So the Spuds defense now having a good look at maybe setting the tone for this game. As Rogers puts a man in motion, sets up on the near side, hoping to draw the Spuds offside. There's the toss to the near side on a screen, and a short gain made. The ball staying inbounds at about the 7-yard line, a gain of 2 on the completion.
Yep, they ran the bubble screen like they tried to start the game with. This time they ran to the right. Caden Berg got off his block of the wide receiver and stopped that for a very short gain. That was a nice job because that looked like it was going to be more.
So out of the huddle. Receiver, 2 receivers, wide left side, single receiver near side with Caden Berg on the coverage. Here's the snap back, and a broken play right from the get-go. It really wasn't on task, and the handoff gets nowhere and brought down at the 9-yard line. And once again, the Spuds defense comes up with a stop run and forcing Rogers now into a very important play on 3rd down and about 6.
Yeah, I actually lost a yard on that, I think. Again, Christian Vega playing that nose spot, Larry. He got around the center right away. They tried to run that inside zone, and he got in there and messed up the timing of that play big time.
Out of the huddle, needing 5 to keep this drive going. Deep in their own end zone near the 9-yard line, Rogers. The snap is back, and he goes to throw, and then it's deflected and caught. O'Neal is there for the catch. This time he made sure he's got the first down out at the 25-yard line on a 16-yard gain.
Yeah, and that time they went play action, and then out of it, and then he ran a quick post from that and got good separation away from Moorhead's defender. And when he caught it, he again had to climb the ladder to go get it. But when he came down, there was nobody in front of him, so they picked up good yards.
As the Royals break huddle and come up. Pistol formation and the run game. Handoff, picking his way along. Spuds defense there, stuffing things up and rolling it along the line for the stop. Play is made there. I think Jack Tyken was in on it, and Giulio Angatti.
Yep.
He was there to lead the way. I told him I would be saying his name a lot tonight in a positive way, and so far he's gotten things off to a good start.
And he did, and he came up underneath again. They're just trying to run that little inside zone play and trying to zone block it up front. Christian Vega's messing it up for him at the point of contact.
2nd down and still almost 10 yards, no gain on that last play. Man in motion out of the near side for the Royals, and the call is made, and the Spuds make the play. Crashing through, breaking things down, coming up with a stop. Mahmoud Jonas, who not only plays offensive blocking, he is a great player to come in on defense. He crashes through for the stop, and it's 3rd down.
Yeah, and they tried to run the jet sweep to Moorhead's left side, and he, again, just that time he got off the tackles block and dropped him for a 4-yard loss. That's pretty good for a 5'7" defensive lineman.
3rd down and 14 now for the Royals. Another in a series of big plays on this series of downs. Just across the 21-yard line. Back to pass with time and looking deep. He's got his man, and he makes the catch, leaping up, reaching for it, Owen Lefebvre. And wouldn't you know it, on this field heading to the south, a big pass play. And this one is from Rogers, and across midfield it goes to the Spuds 45-yard line.
Yeah, and that time what he did is he ran an out and up, and Ja'Kai Fitzpatrick just bit a little bit too much on that out, so he had a step on him. And again, he put the ball right where it had to be, went up and got it, and made a great catch.
So the drive continues. It started at their own 5-yard line, now resting at the Spuds 45-yard line, connecting on a big third down pass completion. Here's the turn and the handoff and the run, and the Spuds are deadly against the run as they try to make room. Ben Dahl just simply ran into the Spud. Walt Myers led the way. He was there first, and then also in on the stop to help out Austin Altepeter.
Yeah, and Thomas Myers that time playing that right defensive end spot. They tried to run the inside zone. He tried to bounce it outside, but he had great outside leverage that time, and then came up and made a nice shoestring tackle to stop him for actually lost a couple of yards.
Tyson Velasic, it's his turn to be at quarterback here as we are at the 6-minute mark. In the first quarter, there's been no scoring. Rogers is on their second drive. Velasic takes a look to the near side, rearranges the play call. 3 receivers wide left, and he looks left. And again, that screen that's set up and the pass complete, getting past the original line of scrimmage, plus a couple more to about the 39-yard line. So that turned into a 5-yard gain and makes it a much more manageable third down.
Yep, and again, running that bubble screen to their left side. Austin Altepeter, excuse me, my voice is not working, Larry. Austin Altepeter read that perfectly, kept outside leverage, forced it back inside, and so there was a lot of help to make the tackle.
5:24 now showing at the Spuds 39-yard line. Wide receiver, far left side. 1 receiver wide near left side, man in the slot. Down, and the play goes, and he is the primary runner. Ben Dahl struggled to get past the line of scrimmage and did, and then was stood up and brought down at the 36-yard line. And from there, Rogers faces 4th down and a yard.
Yeah, and that time they just ran a straight go-ahead. Everybody A-lane blocked, and Gotti met him right at the line of scrimmage, but he had such a head of steam going that he pulled him for about 3 or 4 more yards.
You got to know there's no punt in the picture here. With the ball resting deep inside Moorhead territory, needing less than a yard to keep this series going. Rogers, receiver left and right, waiting for the snap. Man now in motion. He'll lead the lead blocker if that's the way it goes, and that's where it is. And he struggles forward and is stopped at the 35-yard line. We'll see where they mark it. If he crossed over the 35, it's a first down. The chains have moved on, and Rogers keeps this drive going.
And he exactly where he had to get. He had to get the nose of the ball over that line, and he did. But again, nice stand by the Spuds. They ran ISO, put the guy in motion and isolation to the third side. He had to bend it back, and he was lucky to get that because that was a nice line surge by Moorhead.
Time-consuming drive for Rogers. Now a little over 4 minutes to go as they threaten here in the first quarter. Up and over the top, and for the pass, it is there, and it is incomplete. Nearly intercepted by Thomas Myers. He was back, or rather nearly intercepted by Caden Berg, and he had it all wrapped up in collision with the intended receiver. The ball popped away, and that was a near disaster throw and a near pleasant surprise for the Spuds, but it goes incomplete to bring up second down.
Yeah, Caden read that perfectly. He ran the post route again, and he just stayed on his inside hip, and when the ball got there, he went up to get it, and the offensive player became the defender, knocked it away from him.
This play will come with 4:01 remaining. Opening quarter, no score. Line of scrimmage has been dominated by the Royals. Here's the snap back, and it's the keeper by the quarterback and off to the far side. And I think that time we changed up on a third quarterback. Was that Logan O'Neill that took the snap, like in a wildcat situation? I believe so.
Yeah, it was.
And so O'Neill goes down at the 32, and from there a short gain of 3, about 2 yards, make it third down and 8.
Yeah, and that basically all that was the quarterback faking it and became an isolation play for the quarterback. But again, Moorhead got good penetration at the line of scrimmage and just a very short gain.
So the Royals, now with 3.5 minutes to go. Scoreless first quarter. Spuds have had the ball for 1 offensive series, went 3 and out. Here's the play on a counter play. Back to the near side. The hole opened, and he slithers forward inside the 30 to the 29 before the play is brought down. And the tackle made by Jack Tyken, who comes up with a stop there. And again, another crucial play in this series. It's 4th down and 4.
Yeah, that was a little hand-back counter that time, and Jackson Goda wants that one back because he hit him in the backfield, and he just couldn't quite hang on. But still, this is not quite as manageable 4th down as the last one.
Last-minute change on the field brings Tyson Vlasic in at quarterback for this 4th down play. Out of the huddle, wide receiver, far left side is Eric Lefebvre. Vlasic behind in the shotgun formation. Here's the snap back. He's going to throw, and it's off to the near side, and this one is picked up.
Goda.
As he leaped up into the air, Jackson Goda timed his play perfectly, grabbed it out of the air, and the drive is stopped for now, and the Spuds take over on the Goda interception at the 24-yard line.
Great read by Jackson. They went play action, then tried to run that quick pitch. Quick post inside it. He didn't bite on the play fake that time, got into the zone where he needed to be, and he threw it right to him. It was a great pickoff. It's a nice way to end the drive. Nice play by Jackson.
So the defense comes up with a stopper, and now the offense steps up with Trey Feeney looking 3 receivers right, wide receiver near side to throw. And it's up the middle of the field, and it is caught at the 40-yard line, and still on his feet. Brady Walthall crosses midfield, goes to the Rogers 41-yard line. That is a 40-yard pass completion to Brady Walthall.
Again, just running that kind of skinny post inside there, then bent it back when he saw that there was an opening. Trey read it perfectly, hit him right in stride, and the free safety had to come up and make the tackle. But I tell you, Ja'Kai Fitzpatrick, was playing in Janforth was in there, and they brought a blitz on the outside, and he did a nice job of picking up the blitz to give him that extra time.
Michael Haugo goes far right side. Ja'Kai Fitzpatrick to line up in the slot. Timeout is taken. Time has stopped. The clock shows 2:10 to go here in the first quarter of play from Monticello. On the Speakeasy scoreboard, it's Moorhead nothing, Rogers nothing.
Natural talent, physical gifts, training advantages. To become a champion, none of that matters. True champions are the ones who are comfortable working harder, staying later, and finding that competitive edge. They are never satisfied simply doing a good job, because those who transform themselves from local talent into local folklore are the ones who continually perform beyond their limits. Bell Bank, proudly supporting champions everywhere.
Out of the timeout, a perfectly thrown pass to the far side, and Brady Walthall dances and twists and spins his way loose. He didn't get a whole lot for all the effort, but he got some positive movement. Inside the 40, it goes near, well, let's see where they spot it. Near the 38, I think,
about the 36.
Oh, they've moved it forward. Yeah, that's where he made the catch and started his movement. He came back, he twisted around, he went the other way, and finally down at the 36-yard line. And with that play, a 5-yard gain, and Moorhead now faces 2nd and 5. Time is running short here in the first quarter, 1:35 remaining. And we're scoreless. Ja'Kai Fitzpatrick, Brady Walthall lining up side by side. Michael Haugo wide out near left. Wide receiver far right side for Trey Feeney alone in the backfield. As he steps in, he's got a lot of room. At the 30, and then he slides down there. He needed to get to and past the 30 to drive the chains forward, and that just is what happened. As he stepped out of the pocket into a wide open space, it's first down Moorhead.
Yeah, at time Moorhead, they had a combination route down here, single receiver coverage up on top. They had everything covered. The linebackers had vacated, so he just got what he could. Then slid into third base for first down.
So just inside the 30, first down. Trey Feeney, again, his formation loaded with receivers, steps back with 10 seconds still to put the ball in play, and then steps forward and into his quarterback position. Time running short. He'll take the snap with 1 second to go. Here's the play to the near side. Catch made by Ja'Kai Fitzpatrick, and he struggles forward inside the 25, nearing the 24. And we'll take a look from there. I would think that was enough. It's going to be short. The marker was in a place I wasn't expecting it to be.
He's got to get to 21.
Yeah.
And that was just a little 5-yard hitch from he was inside of the tripsman that time, sat down, ball came perfect timing, and he got exactly what he was going to get because he got hit as soon as he caught the ball, but did a nice job of hanging on to it.
You know, you call this a ball control passing offense, and that's exactly what it is. They're getting 3, 4, 5 yards, once in a while a bigger play, but more often than not. And we'll find out how the Spuds will attack this second quarter when we return after 1 quarter of play on the Speakeasy scoreboard. It's Moorhead nothing and Rogers nothing.
Arlen's
Start the second quarter, it is scoreless, Moorhead and Rogers. The Spuds now on the flip of the field will go left to right. Ball resting inside the 25-yard line for Trey Feeney, and it's 2nd down and 5. In motion, Mahmoud Jonas. He generally is a blocker and a very good blocker. He takes his position now as the run will go to Trey Feeney. He does a little move. He is upended at the 12 and goes down inside the 10 at the 9-yard line. But what a nice little juke move by Trey Feeney to set up 1st and goal.
And basically all that was a quarterback isolation play. Mahmoud Jonas led him through the 3-hole, got up on the backer, which sprung him for the extra, and it was just between him and the safety had to make a shoestring tackle at that after that move, Larry.
Deepest penetration by either team offensively here in this opening half, as Trey Feeney now puts Mahmoud Jonas in front of him to block. Here's the snap back, and once again it's Feeney finding room. He didn't find any room that time. Rogers was there. The play by the Royals stuffed him up, and there was no place to dance.
Yep, and again, they tried to do the same thing where they brought Mahmoud was going to go up through the 3-hole. It's a quarterback isolation play, basically. But that time, the other linebacker stepped over, and so when he went to cut it back, there was nobody to block him. That's nice defensive play by Rogers.
They've spotted it at the 8-yard line, and from there it is 2nd down. Just underway, second quarter. Feeney has 3 receivers on the near right side. A quick look over. Perhaps a change in the count, and the snap is there. Standing steady, throwing into the end zone.
Touchdown.
Catch made, touchdown Spuds. Just a perfectly thrown pass on the strike, and Ja'Kai Fitzpatrick was there to haul it in for the score.
And nicely done. Again, Larry, the timing of the throw is just perfect. Right when Ja'Kai came out of his break, he was the inside of the 3 Twins receivers that time. When he got in between the linebackers, the ball came right where it had to be, hit him right in that open zone, and it was a nice drive.
Now the point after try. Saif Alawi out of a Cadenberg hold. The snap is back. The placement is made. He stays very good. Another point on the board, and that point after by Alawi with 10:49 to go here in the first half. On the Speakeasy scoreboard, it's Moorhead 7 and Rogers nothing.
Your home for Boss Snowplows is Burt's Truck Equipment on Highway 75 North in Moorhead.
After the point after completion by Saif Alawi, here is the kickoff now. As he approaches, it comes left to right. And again, he's going to come short of the goal line, well short. It's gathered in at the 13. Rogers on the return, looking for some room at the 25 and up to about the 28-yard line. Well, that touchdown we're going to have to mention belongs to Justin Beam. As we all know him, Boomer, we know that you're not able to be here tonight, but we do know that you're able to listen and to watch. And so we wish you a continued improvement as you cheer on the Spuds here tonight. Boomer, we're pulling for you.
Absolutely. Get better, bud.
So out of the play, here comes Rogers now trailing 7-0. Wide receiver, far right side, two receivers on the near left. One of two quarterbacks. Here's the play to the near side. Spuds had it pretty well sniffed out. They were waiting for that play to come. There were three defenders that ended up making the play. Thomas Myers among them, and also in on the play leading the way was Austin Altepeter, and I think also Jackson Goda was in on the stop. So the Spuds had that play sniffed out. They read it, they played it, and it resulted in a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, tried to run that bubble screen out there, and I'll tell you what, they were really onto that one. And also I like what happened with Jamal Dixon. He read that real good, nice too.
Here's the play, into the hole. Nice dance out of the hole and out of trouble by Ben Dahl. He wanted to go up the middle over center, but there was no room. He danced off to the far right side. And we're using that word a lot here tonight, but there's a lot of nifty footwork
there was
going on by both teams.
That's a pretty good slide step for a high school kid because they're running that inside zone. Moorhead had the middle blocked up pretty good. He just basically took a slide step to the right, and right up the field he went. Nice read.
Tyson Velasic now in at quarterback for this play. It's 3rd down and about a yard for the Royals. Here's the snap back, and a nice hole opens up. That offensive line really is very impressive as he ran past the initial line and into the second level of play, and it's a 1st down for the Royals.
And something else that Rogers did that time, they just went up and they snapped the ball. There was no getting around. They did boom, snapped it and came off on a very quick count, and Moorhead was caught a little flat-footed that time.
Very likely will be. That's a smart play to make a play like that on such short yardage. So the chains have been put up. It's 1st down at the 43-yard line now for the Royals, trailing 7-0. Moorhead scored just a moment ago. Ben Dahl again. This time he was stood up and brought down. Oh, my. As the play was there, Jack Tyken, the junior inside tackle, if you will, was there for the stop, and it was solid.
Absolutely, and he read that perfectly. They tried the down block in front of him. They're trying to run an isolation play to the right. He just followed the tackle, came down, came off his hip, and met him right at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
I can imagine it's an awful lot like having to run into you in your playing day. Here's the play back, and it comes to the near side. Catch is made by Michael Olowo, and he's at midfield and across midfield. Not quite enough yet for the 1st down. Olowo on the reception, and the stop made by Jamal Dixon.
Yep, again, just basically what Moore does. It was about a 5 or 6 step quick hitch. Dixon ran it. He read it perfectly. Bang, bang play. Stopped him short of the 1st down. And good coverage that time.
But the ball is across midfield, and if they do end up having to punt away, it'll give the Rogers defense excellent position against the Spuds. Here's the play now, and Ben Dahl, he leaned forward, but he was wrapped up.
Way short.
And I'm not so sure he got there. Jackson Goda again was involved in the tackle. Altepeter was involved in the tackle, and it's 4th down.
And Thomas Myers that time, too. They tried to run the ISO inside of him. He came right straight down the line of scrimmage and caught him almost as soon as the ball was handed off. He made first contact, and then Jackson was there to help clean up. But that's a nice job by him again.
This is one of those plays that is a tenuous call. At midfield, you face 4th down, needing just a yard. You think you can get a yard any time. If you don't, however, you give up this great field position to the other team. And so this is what Rogers is facing. As they hope to draw the Spuds offline, they stand firm and wait. And the play is back. And here's the play to Ben Dahl, and that offensive line to the right side. Between tackle and guard opened up a huge hole to the 45-yard line, a gain of 5 and a 1st down.
Yeah, that blocking back that time, they kind of do the same thing they do with Munis. And that was he starts off like he looks like he's a wing, and he came back inside, got on the linebacker right away, and then that running back just put his head down, and he was not going to be denied.
So out of the huddle now with a new set of downs, Formation is 2 receivers wide right, pistol formation, handoff in the play. It got turned upfield. Michael Olowo sprinted past the initial tackle spot, or attempt rather, by Moorhead. And by the time he was caught up, he did manage about a yard, almost 2. Let's give it a 1.5 yard gain on the play.
Yeah, again, they tried to run the jet sweep that time. First time we've seen that tonight. And again, Mohamed Yunus, from his tackle spot, almost caught that jet sweep from behind. He got penetration and dove at his ankles, which slowed him up a little bit, and then the rest of the Spuds defenders helped out.
Quickly played first half here tonight. Scoreless after the first quarter. Moorhead scored early in the second quarter, lead it now 7-0, but the Royals are driving upfield. And as they take a look, and now the whistles blow, I wonder if one of the teams has asked for a timeout.
Yeah, Rogers has.
I think Rogers saw a play developing that they didn't want. And so with that, a stop and play, 5:55 to go, first half. On the Speakeasy scoreboard, it's Moorhead 7 and Rogers nothing. Down and 8 facing the Royals. A handoff to Ben Dahl as he slides off the right side to about the 41-yard line. Short gain there of 3. And it's third down and a long 6 yards still needed. Line to gain is inside the 35-yard line. And the ball spotted just at the 41. So do the math. As the Royals have been able to make long and convincing drives upfield, but they turned it over on their last possession, and the Spuds were able to turn it around and in and lead it now 7-0. Now the Royals trying to catch up. Here's the step back and the throw off to the far right side, and it is overthrown completely out of bounds. He was about 7 yards ahead of the intended receiver. The closest player was a defender, and he didn't have a chance on it.
No, and I tell you what, it's a nice move by the receiver out there. They went play action pass that time, and he got Moorhead's Caden Bird completely turned around and did a stop route. And I think he was so open, the quarterback just went, holy mackerel, you're open, and he threw it way over his head.
So this is fourth down territory for the Royals. Ben Dahl has checked in. They are going to show a punt situation here. We'll see if that transpires. The punter on the long side of the 50-yard line. Here's the snap back and the kick away. Lifted off to the far side and takes a bounce out of bounds, and that's where the Spuds will begin. A long field doesn't seem to matter tonight.
Nope.
Leading 7-0, Spuds take over.
Yep, man, I tell you what, he was trying to kick that ball for the coffin corner, and unfortunately it did. It was just at about the numbers. That thing made a hard right turn to go out of bounds, so Moorhead got the ball about the 12, and a good job of stiffening up on defense that time.
So the drive, see if we can spot it. There it is. We can spot it at the 12-yard line.
Yep.
It's first down Spuds. Their last drive started at, what was it, 5?
No.
5 or 7, somewhere in that area?
Yep.
Trey Feeney. He's not afraid to watch the clock run down. And he makes a play call change. Trey Feeney alone now in the backfield. And we've got movement, I think.
Yep.
False start.
Yep.
Moorhead's right side tackle made the move first, and the defender stepped forward, and that cost our first penalty of the night.
Yeah.
First penalty.
Yeah, first penalty, and really, when you think about it, Moorhead hasn't had many penalties on offense at all this year, whether it be holding or anything. So it's kind of out of character. I think they're only averaging about 10, maybe 10 yards a game for penalties. So haven't seen that. We haven't seen offensive linemen get the yips yet.
5:07 to go. Also a special welcome tonight. You used to enjoy watching and listening to the Spuds at home in your big easy chair, but now in Florida, enjoying the warm weather there. Welcome aboard. And our Scotsman Norwegian is enjoying his broadcast here tonight, sending it along to family. Back to pass and looking, running out of the end zone and up forward to the 10 and to the 15. And near the 20-yard line, a flag is down as Trey Feeney was out of bounds when he took the hit. And so back-to-back penalties here, one against Moorhead, this one against Rogers, and the chains will move forward.
Yeah, and that's good call. It wasn't even close. He was well out of bounds when he got hit, and that's too bad for Rogers because Trey was about 4 yards short of the first down marker too. So that's a big penalty against Rogers.
It'll move it out of some dangerous territory as far as the Spuds are concerned as they head upfield. And the ball picked up and is walked forward now across over the 30 and be spotted down at the 32-yard line. So from the 5 initially, now they've put it inside the 31. 2 plays later, it's a comfortable situation with first down. 4 receivers on the near right side for Trey Feeney. More often than not, Trey Feeney is the only one in the backfield as he rolls near side, looks, and has it knocked away. Great
nice
defensive play on the near side, intended for Ja'Kai Fitzpatrick, but Caden Peterson stepped right in front and knocked it away. I think that was Peterson. No, let's correct us. That was Tommy Gilmore, senior linebacker, stepped in front of the play to knock it loose.
Yeah, he did a nice job, and all that was Ja'Kai was the inside of the 4 receivers that time. He ran an out route. Linebacker, he ran like crazy to get there to knock that down there. That was a great play.
Second down and 10. Moorhead with the ball inside their own 31-yard line, looking upfield with a 7-0 lead. 4 receivers on the near right side. And now Mahmoud Jonas lines up as the blocking back. Here's a quick toss on the near side, and it's dropped. Ja'Kai Fitzpatrick turned, looked, the ball was there. He turned to head upfield, the ball wasn't there. And it's third down.
Yeah, and again, it's a timing route. He ran a little outcut, and Trey may have just let that go just a hair early, Larry. He saw the blitz coming, but Jonas picked it up, just threw it just a hair early. Right when he turned around, the ball was there, and he still almost caught it.
4:53 to go. Spuds with a 7-0 lead, facing third down and 9. 3 receivers on the near right side, 2 now on the far left side, the short side of the field. As Feeney watches the play clock run down from 6. Here's the snap back and the look. A soft touch there for Brady Walthall. He's got the catch on the run across the 35 and up near the 40-yard line. Now, he needed to cross the 40 and get near the 41. I'm thinking he's just short.
Yeah, just a hair short.
Oh, they spotted his knee down inside the 40-yard line, so a full yard now needed for Moorhead on 4th down.
And don't be surprised if they don't go for it here. They may show something, but
Well, the difference here between just a moment ago when Rogers had a similar situation, Rogers was trailing.
Yep.
Moorhead now has the lead as they look at this play, needing 4th and 1 and taking a lot of time.
He's going to let it run down.
He's going to let it run all the way down. Yep. And we will have a timeout forthcoming. And so we've seen a lot of stuff come out of Kevin Feeney in these kinds of situations. We'll find out what he has in mind. With 4:06 to go in the first half. On the Speakeasy scoreboard, it is Moorhead 7 and Rogers nothing.
Get up. Your dreams don't hit snooze. Because if you snooze, you might miss your opportunity to improve your craft. Put in the work. Your opportunity to be the best.
We just saw Trey Feeney not go up the middle with his quarterback keeper, but slide off to the left side and just simply find his way through the blockers that were there and pick up a first down.
And he chose to go to the left where Mahmoud Jonas was lined up as his blocking back, and Jonas got on that linebacker again, and Trace slipped it outside, and the safety had to come up and make the tackle. Nice play call.
That play alone may go down as a real deciding factor to the outcome. As Feeney now lines up alone again in the backfield. Everyone else a receiver. Toss on the near side. Brady Wolthall heads his way, still on his, still loose, and not cross over the 50-yard line, not quite to the 49. That turned into about a 7-yard pickup on the reception and run by Brady Wolthall.
And again, Brady just ran about a three-step out, caught it, and then his yards after the catch has been phenomenal so far this year. And that time he took a quick look, turned back up inside, saw that was out, then spun and got back outside, and his brother was just trying to make the block for him when he got tackled.
Blake Wolthall now lines up wide near right side. 3 receivers wide left. Janforth in the backfield alongside Trey Feeney. With 2:52 to go, he'll take the snap, and it's Janforth.
Oh boy,
he
fumble.
Went down. He stumbled forward just as he got the handoff away and was fortunate to recover. And so no gain on that fumble. In fact, a loss of about 3 yards.
Yep.
In the backfield it went to bring up third down.
Yeah, it's one of those plays where he saw the hole right when he was getting the handoff, and when he bent it back, the ball popped out because the quarterback couldn't give him a good exchange that time, and he was fortunate the ball popped right back up to him.
Faces third down and 5 now for the Spuds, right at midfield. Michael Haugo goes wide, far left side. Caught his first varsity touchdown reception a week ago. And 2 receivers alongside of him. 2 receivers on the near side of the field, and again it's Trey Feeney as he slides off to the far side. He's got the first down as he crosses over the 40-yard line. Oh, my. Oh, my. We've got players taking exception to the way things happened out of bounds. I didn't see a penalty go down.
Nope.
Ja'Kai Fitzpatrick was right there to defend his teammate.
Well, what happened was that he came back when Feeney bounced that outside, he came back and got a great block, kind of a blindsided block, and the guy that got blocked got up and kind of gave him a wrap across the head.
He took exception to
the block, and as Ja'Kai was on his way up there, some coach by the name of Feeney grabbed him by the back collar and said, "Get in the huddle."
Took control of the game.
Yes, he did.
2 minutes to go first half. Spuds are threatening here before the break. Back to pass and looking over the top. He's got Brady Wolthall at the 20-yard line. And the catch made for 15 yards and a Spuds first down. And so waiting to see the tendency and the trend tonight for Trey Feeney. It belongs in the hands of number 9, Brady Wolthall.
And that was an unbelievable throw that he just had because Wolthall was on a straight go route. He pumped. He came off and got into that open zone, and he led him right to the ball. That was an unbelievable play. I think they've done this a time or two.
1:40 now showing in the first half, and the Spuds have put it inside the red zone. We've got movement along the right side, but no contact. There comes the flag. Encroachment, I suspect
so.
the call. The right side defensive end, Alex Lundebrecht, was ahead of the play and in the zone, and that's a 5-yard penalty. So the Spuds, instead of 1st and 10, will have 1st and 5. As they spot it down at the 13-yard line.
Yeah, and the thing on that penalty that we got to realize is that in high school football, he doesn't have to make contact. He just has to break the plane.
Yep.
And that's what happened. And he got back in time, but unfortunately in high school football, can't do that.
That's too late.
Yep.
So we'll try it again here for the Spuds. It's 1st and 5. Snap is a bit low, but it's pulled up, and a rifle to the end zone, and incomplete. He had Ja'Kai Fitzpatrick in the end zone. He took a dive for the ball, and seemingly for a moment was pulling it in, but it hit the turf and bounced away. It is incomplete, and it brings up 2nd down.
Yeah, he kind of had to dive for that one, and it's kind of neat, too, because he was, again, inside twin. He just ran I call it a corner route, and he was there, flattened it, and then Trey was actually trying to throw the ball away from the defender and just got it out there just a little too far.
So Trey Feeney lines things up with 1:17 to go in the half. Mahmoud Jonas, the blocker in front, and it's Trey Feeney following him. Trey Feeney works his way loose and then takes a hit from the side and goes down near the 5-yard line. I think he'll have a first down from there. It'll be 1st and goal with almost a minute and 11 seconds to go.
Again, just that quarterback isolation play. Mahmoud Jonas lined up. He's kind of like in in the 4-hole, steps back into the 2-hole, gets up on the linebacker. He actually turned that linebacker outside. Trey did the right thing. He went right off his keister for a big first down.
Now inside of a minute. Trey Feeney looks to the left and finds there are 3 receivers over there. 2 receivers on the near right side. He's alone in the backfield. Here's a look to the end zone, and the play is there, and it is incomplete. Another good defensive play as the Spuds had their receiver there. Rogers had the defender there trying to identify him, but he knocked it away, just did knock it away, and it brings up 3rd down.
Yeah, it was a bang-bang play. Again, he was trying to run that corner route, and the defender, it was a nice job by the defender. He didn't bite on that inside move, stayed there. And again, Trey had to throw it away from the defender, and guy just made a nice play.
It's actually 2nd down for the Spuds with 43 seconds to go. Let's see what the Spuds have in mind here, and before this play gets underway, a timeout is taken. So we've got a break, and we'll return to Monticello with 43 seconds to go in the first half on the Speakeasy scoreboard. Moorhead 7, Rogers nothing.
Revive Professional Massage Therapy Clinic. Locally owned and operated. Open 7 days a week, day, evening, and same-day appointments available. Couples massages also available. 20 highly trained professional licensed massage therapists on staff. Now with 2 locations, South Fargo and Detroit Lakes. Offering online booking and online gift certificates. www.reviveprofessionalmassage.com.
Out of the timeout, 43 seconds remaining. Spuds facing 2nd down. Here's a look to the end zone.
Wide
He is
open.
all alone. Oh, my. Wide open right there. The play goes to Brady Wolthall.
And again, that time Brady was the slot receiver with that trips route out there. The inside trips guy ran to the middle, outside guy ran a fade, and he put just a great move on the guy on that quick slant and got separation. And of course, as usual, the ball was there right on perfect timing.
Now the point after try by Saif Alawi. The snap is back and put in place. He had to hurry this one. There was a rush coming at him, but he got it up and he got it through. And with 39 seconds to go in the first half, on the Speakeasy scoreboard, it's Moorhead 14 and Rogers nothing. Long scoring drives here in the second quarter have built up a 14-0 advantage, and Alawi kicks it all the way down to the 13-yard line, and the return barely got across the 24 and stopped quickly at about the 25-yard line. Altapeter was in on the play along with Julio Angadi.
And again, that wasn't a deep. He's not getting a kick very deep, but he's getting it so high. And Moorhead, they just do such a nice job on special teams. They stay in their lanes. Hakon Peterson actually was the first one to shoot inside and turn that guy back inside, and there was a whole wall of people waiting for him after that.
So the game plan for Rogers now is if they're trying to put something on the board before the end of the half, it'll have to be something big. This drive at their own 25-yard line. They'll keep it on the ground for now as Ben Dahl works his way. He's a good runner, hard runner.
Hard.
And very difficult to bring down. Dahl on the carry for about 4 yards, brings up 2nd down and 6.
And I don't think they're going to do anything other than maybe let this clock run out.
They don't have to put the ball in play.
No, they don't have to, and I don't think they're going to
and
either.
There's no urgency at all about the play coming in, and so with that, we expect that we're going to head to the locker room. Yes, they are not going to run their play out of the huddle. Spuds are waiting just to be sure nobody sneaks in one on them. And that's the end of the first half. The Spuds dominate the second quarter and score twice. As we take our halftime break on the Speakeasy scoreboard, it's Moorhead 14 and Rogers nothing.
But Rogers is the home team.
Rogers is the home team on this one. The Spuds and Rogers battled to a 0-0 tie at the end after one quarter. And then Moorhead put a drive together. I think we had it set up as a 65-yard drive. It ended up in an 8-yard pass completion to Ja'Kai Fitzpatrick, and Moorhead led 7-0 early in the second. Rogers had a couple of opportunities, but they ended up with a turnover along the way, and that nullified a couple of things they were trying to do, and it resulted in the Spuds' ability to again put a long drive together. It ended with the 39 seconds to go in the half, a 5-yard pass completion to Brady Walthall, culminating an 85-yard drive, and the Spuds are in the locker room at the half, 14-0.
Yeah, and when you look at that on the interception that Jackson Goda had, Moorhead converted that into a score, and that's something that we're used to seeing in years past, but this year it's happened a lot. If you turn the ball over, you're just asking for trouble from Moorhead, because they tend to turn those sudden change opportunities into scores, and that's what they've done so far tonight with the one turnover.
And so we're at halftime. We've got a WDAY news break, weather break coming your way next as you listen to the Spuds on 970 WDAY 93.1 FM. We're at halftime. On the Speakeasy scoreboard, it's Moorhead 14 and Rogers nothing.
Natural talent, physical gifts, training advantages. To become a champion, none of that matters. True champions are the ones who are comfortable working harder, staying later, and finding that competitive edge. They are never satisfied simply doing a good job, because those who transform themselves from local talent into local folklore are the ones who continually perform beyond their limits. Bell Bank, proudly supporting champions everywhere.
Your home for Boss Snowplows is Bert's Truck Equipment on Highway 75 North in Moorhead.
Get up. Your dreams don't hit snooze. Because if you snooze, you might miss your opportunity to improve your craft, to put in the work. Your opportunity to be the best.
Revive Professional Massage Therapy Clinic. Locally owned and operated. Open 7 days a week, day, evening, and same-day appointments available. Couples massages also available. 20 highly trained professional licensed massage therapists on staff. Now with 2 locations, South Fargo and Detroit Lakes, offering online booking and online gift certificates. www.reviveprofessionalmassage.com.
had completed play and teams had left, Saif Alawi stayed on the field, and he's been kicking his practices ever since. Long distance to start. I know he was hoping to get the end zone, and he finally did put one down in the end zone on his practice kicks, and now he has moved up closer for possible field goal attempts or point after tries to keep going, and Saif Alawi takes his game very seriously.
Yeah, and he kicked a 50-yarder a little while ago off the tee, but we also got somebody in with a ponytail out there kicking too.
Well, that happened last week. She came on to kick, and we were unbeknownst that she was even on the roster, let alone available to kick. And so, wouldn't you know, Ellie Feeney comes up and goes 2 for 2.
Yep, and almost outshone her brother by doing that.
It brought a big smile from Trey's face when we mentioned that possibility as to what she was going to tell him at the supper table the next night.
Yeah, and he decided not to let us know.
So we've got a second half upcoming that if it's played, I expect we won't see a great deal of differences between on how either team plays the game.
No, Rogers isn't built to throw the ball around a whole lot, but they do like to run the ball. But what you look at here is Moorhead's going to get the ball first to start the second half. And if they march right down the field, that's going to be a real
very difficult to come back on, don't you think?
Absolutely. Yeah. Because Moorhead defensively is playing really well. They've had a couple, plays, but that's going to happen. But they're playing very well, and that big interception really took the wind out of Rogers' sails for a little bit there.
Jackson Goda, we're talking of, with the interception that eventually led to a Spud score. And on the other side of things, there's really been just one play from Rogers' offense that has taken them into a different field position, and that was a nice pass play and a nice run.
Yep.
The Spuds caught up to it, so they didn't create any real hard damage, but it did create a difference in field position.
Yeah, it did, and then when they ended up having to punt the ball, and then Moorhead went on about an 85-yard drive after that to score, so they answered that back too, which is kind of neat to see.
Ja'Kai Fitzpatrick with a reception, Brady Wolfall with a catch and run, has given the Spuds a 14-0 lead, and both teams have games coming up on Thursday this next week, as Rogers will take on Sauk Rapids Rice. That's a Thursday night encounter, and Moorhead's game has been switched from a Friday night to a Thursday night at Jim Goda Stadium, and will finish up their season with the remaining games at home Thursday night against Brainerd and the following Friday against Bemidji.
And it's going to be really interesting next week. For those of you at home that don't know this, but Brainerd, for the first time in 47 years,
at least,
has a new head football coach. We don't even know what his name is.
Ron Stolsky decided to retire from coaching after a long. He had 55 years in at one point, and Ron Stolsky, with that record, I don't know that anybody has been able to come close to that. And then, of course, Troy Hendricks, the head coach at Bemidji, that brought that team back up and into contention once again. And that's always a great. I mean, we'll talk about two great games to finish the season.
Yeah, and as I call it, the B teams, Brainerd and Bemidji, and Bemidji last week went into Edina and put a licking on them. It was just really
much to the chagrin of the Hornets.
Yeah, but I tell you what a nice job, what a great win for Bemidji. Everybody thinking, little Bemidji, if they're going to go down, get beat up by Edina, and they took it to them pretty darn good.
Someone asked the question if Bemidji and Edina had ever played each other in any activity, and we drew a blank on that, so we don't know if any football. We suspect it was the first ever football game, but perhaps a baseball encounter in a playoff situation.
Maybe basketball back
in the day. Maybe, hockey maybe. But anyway, that was an interesting question about that. And again, it was one of those things that took place as a result of our current health situation. There were teams looking for people to play, places to play, and it just worked out.
Well, and you look at this field, very fortunate for Moorhead because they were supposed to play Apollo tonight, I should say, and I believe Apollo is not being able to play because of the COVID.
Yes, and that's correct. So as a result, then Monticello hosted Owatonna, who made the drive, and that's a game that is not normally scheduled as well.
No.
And Owatonna, very strong team in 5A football out of their section, and year in and year out recently, and they had a 6-0 lead early, but then Monticello came back and scored in the second half, also got the extra point to lead 7-6, and Monticello blocked a field goal, a potential game-winning field goal attempt from Owatonna. And Monticello got the upset win today, 7-6.
I think they did, and like I said, Owatonna, they're in that Big 9 down there. They're always strong in that conference.
They came into the game with 3 wins, all against the Rochester schools, Century and Mayo and the other one.
Lords?
No, the private or the public school. But anyway, they were unbeaten at 3-0, and now both teams are at 3-1 after today's action. The Spuds, meanwhile, are trying to keep their unbeaten mark going. They are 3-0 coming in with very impressive wins in their first 3 games, and likewise Rogers, an impressive 3-0, but against the numbers weren't quite as big against some of the similar teams.
Yeah, but they're kind of a ball control, run the ball, throw it when they have to type team. They're big and physical up front. I tell you what, holy mackerel! But Moorhead so far, they're doing well. Defensively, they're playing very well. Offensively, they're just being Moorhead.
And so we take a look at the difference in coaching philosophies here. The Rogers coach is using the philosophy that he needs to use with the players he has.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, Kevin Feeney realizes what he's got and is utilizing them to the best of their abilities. And Spuds have not, they've certainly not disappointed him.
If you were to wake up from a 2-year sleep and saw what Moorhead's doing, you go, you'd say, oh, Kevin Feeney's not coaching there anymore.
Pardon me. So the kickoff now from the Royals as they line it up. And kick left to right. It is up the middle of the field, not deep, gathered in at the 17. 25, 30, my goodness, 45. Keenan went, 50, and still on his feet at the 40. Then is caught and wrestled and hogtied and brought down at the 34-yard line. Keenan went on a great return for the Spuds.
What a great way to start the second half, but you got to like what he did. He took that ball just on this side of the hash marks, and it was pretty much a line drive. He broke through the first wave, got to the outside, picked up one block. I couldn't see who it was, and he took off. It hadn't been for the kicker, he'd have scored. That was a night. What a way to start the second half.
And it's being brought back.
I didn't see that.
No, we didn't see the flag that goes down. So oftentimes on a play like that, it was created because of an illegal block perhaps or holding.
Yeah.
And they're bringing it out from the 38-yard line and marking it back from there. So that's about the point at which Keenan Went was able to break loose from the pack. And so instead of into Rogers territory, it's brought back to the 28-yard line, 27-yard line for the Spuds, and it's first down. Leading 14-0. 3 receivers on the near side now for Trey Feeney. Kai Fitzpatrick goes wide, far right. Here's the snap back. Looking, and the play brings a flag, and that is an interference call. The Spuds were looking to get the ball. I think Blake Walsall was there, the intended receiver there. The defender was there as well, wrapped them all up, brought them down, and without the proper form, and that costs a penalty, and it costs yardage, and it puts the Spuds upfield.
How about if we just say he went over his back before the ball got there? You can't do that. And we got a new receiver in, number 19 for the Spuds, Kenny Boney. Bonnie?
Boney? Yeah, Boney. Okay. First time we've had a chance to see him.
Yeah.
Wide receiver near left. 2 men in the slot. Fitzpatrick goes wide right. Trey Feeney looking in that direction, then steps up and throws up and over the top. It is deflected away.
Oh,
and another nice defensive play there as they got in front of each other. Blake Walthall again, the intended receiver, and he got wrapped up and brought down again. Could have been a flag, and I don't think they would have had any argument from anybody.
And they're still petitioning for him, but he had him by the shoulder the whole way, pulled him backwards, and he wasn't going to catch that ball anyhow. But that's one of those that they just decided to make it a no call, and here we go.
So it's second down. Brought back to the 43-yard line. Moorhead moving right to left. Fitzpatrick goes wide, far right. Trey Feeney. As most of his plays tonight have been alone in the backfield. As he steps away, the rush is on, and he throws one into the dirt. He rushed. That's the first time all year that we've seen that he has been rushed just a bit, and he threw it into the turf right in front of Boney.
Well, they brought an A-gap blitz and a B-gap blitz on Moorhead's right side. They didn't have enough people to block him, and he just got as much time as he could, and finally he just threw the ball at the feet of the nearest receiver he could see, which was Boney, and lived to play another down.
Michael Haugo comes wide near left side. Blake Walthall wide to the far right. There are 5 receivers in the formation for Trey Feeney, who rocks and waits, looks and throws, and then the whistle and
Jumped
the
offside
flag.
up.
Somebody jumped
Blake
offside.
took off too soon.
And that penalty, we had 1 penalty in the first half. The second half is getting off to a rocky start.
Yeah, now we got three in a row here, and Blake just took off a little too soon. And they go on movement that time, and he just got the jitters a little bit. Got a feeling maybe he thought the ball was coming to him.
Early in the third, Moorhead holding a halftime advantage of 14-0, trying to develop a drive here in the third quarter. They've taken the opening kickoff, but have kind of stuttered and stammered their way along, facing now a 3rd down and 15. Snap is back, looking for the rush, and there's the throw, and that one is knocked away. Haugo is the intended receiver and the defender, and Moorhead has not seen pass defense this year as they are tonight.
Yep, and that was real great coverage. Michael was the inside of the trips receivers, just ran an in route, if you want, or a quick slant. And again, the defender had good coverage on him and just got in there and knocked the ball away. And this would be the first time that we would see them punt.
Yeah, it's 4th down. Well, we had Trey Feeney pooch one out of there, and he got a great roll.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised to see that again here on 4th and 15. But he's going to take his time. And now a pat of the helmet, and he'll step back a couple steps.
Boink.
He doesn't need a lot of room. He takes a half a step forward and doinks it up onto the near side. And again, he gets the roll that he wants. From the 20, we've got another penalty.
We got a flag down here.
Another flag is down on the near side of the field.
And
we'll wait and see what that's all about. But the players haven't seen what has happened. And so everybody's assuming that the change of possession has occurred. And waiting now for the referee to make the call as he steps forward.
Yeah, he grabbed the guy that was trying to run down and cover the punt and grabbed
penalty
his face
against Rogers.
Yep.
And it will not change possession.
No.
Rogers will get the football, but instead of up near midfield, it is going to spot somewhere near the 12, 13-yard line.
Yeah, right in that area.
So 1st down, Rogers from there. Field position and the way this game has been played is so important. 14-0 Moorhead. We are early in the third.
Whoa.
Handoff up the middle. Spud's run defense is there to make the stop. And once again, we have mentioned him early on, but the play was stopped by Austin Altapeter, Julio and Gotti. They all in on the play. Thomas Myers is always nearby.
That time Jack Newcomb was the first one to make contact too.
And the play. On 2nd down and 7. Here's the turn and the handoff. And a nice hold. He spins nearly out of the tackle, but Ja'Kai Fitzpatrick hangs on to make sure it doesn't go much farther. And then the finishing touches by Austin Altapeter. Short of the 1st down, and Rogers now faces 3rd down and about a yard.
And they're just running ISO where they take that back, again, lined up almost in a wing, and then takes a step in and blocks on the linebacker, and then the running back just reads that block and goes accordingly.
Wide receiver far left side for the Royals. Velasic at quarterback. Here's the turn and the handoff. Nice hole opens up. He's got the 1st down as he crossed over the 27 up near the 28-yard line. What a nice job by the offensive line of Rogers to open it for Ben Dahl. And he has no problems with even just a little bit of room, and he clearly has the 1st down.
Yeah, and he actually ran an inside zone play, and he's lined up like an I-back. He started on the left side, saw that the crease was actually over the right side of the center, and that's where he bent it and picked up big yards.
Spotting it down at the 29-yard line. 14-0 Moorhead, possession Rogers. Man in motion near side. Back to pass and looking upfield. He's going deep. He's got his man. It is there. It is caught at the 30 and then rolling down at the 25-yard line. So a second big pass play of the night. And Caden Berg finally was there to make the stop and prevent the touchdown, but a long pass reception on a perfectly thrown ball and sets up Rogers at the Moorhead 23-yard line First down.
Yeah, and all he did is just ran a deep post, put a nice little out move on it. Caden bid on it for just a second, and then, like I said, perfectly thrown pass.
Tanner Weiss is wide out near right side. Man in motion. Play goes on the run. And Ben Dahl again runs hard inside the 20. They're going to spot it right at the 20-yard line. So at the red zone for the Royals. And a 2-yard pickup there leaves 2nd down and 8.
And again, just running that isolation play, and he just reads the block of that blocking back who's actually lined up between the guard and the center. And whichever way he turns that linebacker, he goes the other way, and he does a nice job of finding that crease.
Owen LaFave wide out far left side for Rogers with Tanner Weiss on the near side. Velocic, handoff, flag down, tackle made. Thomas Myers was there and got a hold of Ben Dahl behind the line of scrimmage. And waiting to see, I suspect that it's a penalty against Rogers. Yeah. They are already moving backwards.
I think it's going to be a holding call.
And that's enough yardage where they would accept the penalty and let them replay the down.
I absolutely back him up a little bit. But again, Thomas Myers, he's playing that right defensive end, Larry. They tried to run that ISO play, and when he bent it back, when he saw the block of the back, he came right down the line of scrimmage, off the tackle's butt, and dropped him for a loss. But Moorhead needed to back it up even farther.
We'll get it. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down and 20. 3 receivers, wide left side, Velocic. Stands in the pocket and looks, and under some pressure gets the ball away, and he's got his man. Near the original line of scrimmage, he came down inside. Caden Berg on the coverage. Catch made by Tanner Weiss, and that brings up 2nd down. 2nd down and 8.
Actually, it's 3rd down, Larry. And that was just something we haven't seen yet. He ran like he was running a go route, and then ended up coming back with a comeback route, and ball was very well thrown, perfect timing.
More manageable situation, not only 8, but 3rd down and about 6. Here's the snap back, and Velocic leans back to throw, and it is to the near side. Weiss is there for the catch. He steps out of bounds, so the pass play has become a very important part of this drive. Finally rushed out of bounds by Giulio Angatti. And it'll be 1st and goal now for the Royals.
And he got that off just in time. Again, they ran that comeback route, but Thomas Myers, again, coming off the right side, Larry, he hit him right when he threw it. I didn't think he was going to get the ball away, so he was fortunate to get it away.
Tyson Velocic has checked in. He is at quarterback. He's in the pistol formation with Ben Dahl, who gets the call. And Ben Dahl, who runs hard, worked his way down near the 7-yard line where Thomas Myers makes the stop.
Again, he's coming off that right defensive end, Larry. They ran that ISO play again to the right, and the tackle in front of him is blocking down inside, doesn't think, and Myers got such great speed from that spot, and he's able to make contact and actually almost dropped him for a loss.
So with that play, the clock continues to run. 7.5 minutes remaining here in the 3rd. Moorhead with a 14-0 lead. That was the score at the half. Unable to get upfield on their possession of the 3rd quarter, giving it back now to Rogers, and the Royals are threatening as the play comes near side, working his way around and dancing his way loose, Logan O'Neill. He had ideas of heading into the end zone, but the Spuds double-teamed, triple-teamed on the stop, and it goes down at the 6-yard line.
Yeah, Jack Tyken was on that side that time, Larry, and he fought and kept that guy stood up at the line of scrimmage. And then Caden Berg from his corner spot came in and cleaned up and helped out on that tackle. That's a nice job by Caden.
6:53 to go in the 3rd. 3rd down, 3rd and goal, Rogers. Here's the look to the end zone, up and over the top, and it is overthrown. Waiting to see if there might have been interference, but no, the pass is so clearly overthrown. It was wisely done. So had that been down on the field of play, good chance of an interception.
Yep.
So the incompletion brings up 4th down.
Yep, just tried to run a little, idle route back there, back in the corner of the end zone, and I think that ended up in Corey's trunk. He threw that one a long way out of bounds.
Jamal Dixon covering on the far side as 2 receivers go wide left for Rogers. Crucial play. Here's the snap back and a counter play back to the near side, but the Spuds there for the stop at the 5-yard line. Rogers on a nice counter play. Now, normally that's a very good play, and you can expect some very good results. But that time, The Spuds had an eye on Ben Dahl, and he is brought down on a 4th down play by the Royals, and the Spuds take over again with a long field in front.
Great job by Jackson Godel. He's playing that inside Mike or middle linebacker spot. When he ran that counter play, he didn't bite at all. He just waited. He stepped up and made. And as he's such a good tackler. Right when he came up the line of scrimmage, he knocked him sideways, and basically they didn't get anything on that play.
Making some notes as the Spuds at their own 5-yard line. Here's Trey Feeney rolling right, leaning back and throwing long. He's got his man, but it's overthrown. Turning and looking for it, and it just wasn't going to happen. Haugo had to slow down as he tried to spot the ball up in the darkness of the sky, and that allowed the pass to be overthrown and out of bounds, and from there it brings up 2nd down.
Yeah, and what Trey was doing, that was just a straight go route by Haugo, and he threw it outside shoulder like he's supposed to, but he actually kind of came back inside instead of keeping his shoulders outside, so the ball got overthrown. And so, you're not going to complete them all.
With with that, Haugo back in the formation strong, far right side. 2 receivers on the right, 2 receivers on the near left. And at the goal line, here's the snap back, and Trey Feeney looks left, goes right. Ja'Kai Fitzpatrick picked up a couple of yards in the play. It's complete, so it'll be padded in that direction, but just a short yardage play, and that brings up 3rd down now for the Spuds.
Yeah, and that was just a quick hitch where he runs 5 steps and turns around inside. And Trey had to throw the ball that quick because they brought a blitz that time in the B gap, and he had to get rid of it. He didn't have time to do anything else.
Well, we saw some big plays from Rogers on their way upfield on 3rd down and on 4th down, and now it's the Spuds who face a big play situation here at their own 7-yard line. And it is 3rd down. Trey Feeney takes the snap and looks and floats one out. There he is. Penalty flag is going to bring it all back.
Yep.
Brady Wolthall still on the run. It's fun to watch, but we know it's not going to count. As Brady Wolthall, he delivered a hammerlock. That one went down in a big way, and we've got all kinds of possibilities here. The first penalty flag was down at the 15-yard line, and that's where it'll stop at all. But it was still fun to watch.
It's still fun to watch, and Brady just got up just now. I mean, he actually gave a stiff arm, got that last tackler out of the way.
That was no stiff arm. That was an all-out whack him in the
back of the head. But then he looked back, saw the hanky, and laid down, went,
yeah.
And what you're going to get is that
shouldn't have done that.
They brought him in on the middle screen, and one of the offensive linemen. I thought they were going to get him for illegal block in the back, but I'm not so sure now. Oh, block below the waist, but since the ball was thrown behind the line of scrimmage, it's okay.
So it all comes down
to that the ball's going to be on the 29.
The ball will be in Moorhead's favor across midfield. And I'm not sure I understand all that took place on that because there were so many options, so many flag possibilities.
Yeah.
But the Spuds get the benefit of whatever took place and have it now at the Rogers 29-yard line. It's 1st down.
You can't block below the waist in high school football except for in the perimeter of the offensive line. And since the ball was thrown behind the line of scrimmage, it's okay to do that.
That's why you're on board here.
I had to think about the rule for a while.
3 receivers far right, 2 receivers on the near left side for Trey Feeney. Spuds leading 14-0, now have a scoring opportunity. Feeney escapes and throws it out on the near side. And with the play, Ja'Kai Fitzpatrick. And this one is starting to take on a bit of an edge between the players, Ja'Kai Fitzpatrick and Owen Kanzler.
Yeah.
Kind of staring each other down at the end of that last play.
Yeah, got a little thing going there. But that time the ball, there was no way it's going to. Their number 9 came through and got and actually hit Trey as he was throwing the ball, which put that ball way up high. There's not much you can do when you got a 190-pound defensive end on your back.
5.5 minutes to go in the third. There's been no scoring in the second half. Spuds now inside the 30-yard line with a 14-0 lead. Mahmoud Jonas leads the blocking, and Trey Feeney rushes upfield. Then he got turned around and driven back. And there's a lot of smash-mouth football here tonight.
And all that is a quarterback isolation. Jonas is lined up as that up back, in between the guard and the tackle. He gets up on the linebacker, but they weren't able to get the backside linebacker. So when Trey got himself inserted in the line, the backside linebacker came over and stopped it for a pretty short gain.
Yeah, short gain of about 2. It sets up 3rd down and 8. This play will come underway with less than 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Michael Haugo, wide, far right side. Inside of him, Brady Walthall and Ja'Kai Fitzpatrick. Blake Walthall on the near left side. There's a tight end. Back to pass and looking. Up the middle of the field, now off to the far side. And the intended receiver got turned around just as the pass was thrown. And it was wide and out of bounds, and that stops play to bring up 4th down.
Yeah, and again, I'm not sure who the receiver was on that one, but he was running deep. Again, he tried to throw it outside shoulder, and the receiver was a little bit too far inside.
Well, we're going to see for the first time, I think, a field goal attempt here by Saif Alawi.
Yep.
Caden Berg is on. He's the holder. Ball will be spotted at the 35-yard line. So this is a 45-yard attempt for Alawi. As they wait for the play. And the snap is down.
Oh,
and
no.
It's blocked.
No, he dropped the snap.
Oh, there it was. Field position favoring Rogers now as the ball got twisted on the snap back and out of play. He never did get a chance to kick. And so on the turnover, it is 1st down, Rogers at their own 36-yard line.
Yeah, it was just a little bit of a low snap, and he couldn't quite handle it. And then as he tries to pick it up, then, of course, you always boot it off to the side, so there's no way they're ever going to get the kickoff.
4:36 to go, and again, this second half has been a game of turnarounds. Here's the play in motion. Handoff comes back up the middle.
Nice.
Ben Dahl trying to find and trying to work some room. He's listed at 5'10", 185.
Yep.
He runs bigger than that.
Yep, and they tried to run the inside trap that time. Again, Thomas Myers, Larry, is having a game at defensive end. He came down, followed the guard, and made the tackle for a loss a little bit. And he's way the heck on the outside, and he's able to make that on an inside trap in the zero hole and stop that for.
Are we going to have to put him in line for a player of the day?
Maybe we'll have to see, but he must have about 10 tackles.
Strong consideration. Less than 4 minutes now showing in the 3rd. Rolling near side and looking. And still looking. Now lobs one up and thrown over to the near side. Spuds had good coverage on the play by Keenan Wendt. And it was simply overthrown. There was no chance of getting that one to hook up with Owen Kanzler. And so the incompletion stops play with 3:49 to go here and brings up 3rd down for Rogers.
Yeah, and he had to throw it away. Jack Tyken got off the tackles block, made sure he got out wide so that when he came out on that bootleg, I guess who was right in his back pocket, but Mr. Thomas Myers, and to make sure that he had to throw it. So he had heat coming from both directions, and he just had to throw it away.
Out of the pistol formation. Back to pass and looking on play action. And this one is up in the air to make the catch. Yes. Oh, my, what a catch. I thought that one was overthrown. Owen Lefebvre, who barely is at 6 foot there, was able to stretch it out, leap up into the air, make the catch, and it's 1st down, Rogers.
And he threw that ball right when he had to because, again, Tyken and Myers were on him and hit him right when he threw the ball. But what a catch. That's
a big-time catch.
Big-time catch.
3:34 now showing in the 3rd as Rogers moves the ball upfield. Wide receiver left, wide receiver near right side. Man in motion. Lefebvre, here's the call back to Ben Dahl. He's found an opening. He's starting to crank out some big yards here as he crossed over midfield, crossed over the 45, goes down at the 43-yard line. I think just short. They're going to move the chains. That was enough. A 10-yard pickup on the play. Chains will be put in place and a 1st down, Rogers.
Again, just running that one-hole trap, the quick hit and skinny trap. And that time, everything is perfect. They got on the linebackers. They got the trap guy. And that went all the way until Keenan Wendt had to come from a safety spot to make the tackle.
Less than 3 minutes now showing in the 3rd. And once again, Rogers has moved the ball into Spuds territory. Here's the turn down the line. But the play is made. I was expecting to see a penalty flag. That looked an awful lot like a face mask violation there, but none forthcoming and none argued. Stop made, no gain, barely a yard from the 41-yard line.
And that was Jack Tyken from his left defensive end spot that time. Again, they tried to run that trap play to the right into a 2-2 hole. He bounced outside. Tyken just got off his block and stopped him for a short gain. And I thought they were going to call a horse collar because of the way he pulled him down.
Receivers 2 to the left and 1 to the near right side. Waiting, turning, back and looking, throwing. Up and over the top. He's got his man.
Wow.
Right. Oh, he dropped it. And he dropped it. Tanner Weiss was wide open. There was nobody around him. As he was ready to settle his way into the end zone, it simply slipped away and falls incomplete.
Yeah, and he put a heck of a move on Moorhead's Caden Berg that time, gave him an outlook, and then came back into a hard skinny post.
That was one of the best routes we've seen a wide receiver make.
Yep, and he came back to the skinny post, and he just singed poor Caden, but unfortunately for the Spuds,
well, it's
he
like
dropped it.
It's like you said earlier. You don't complete them all.
Nope, don't complete them all.
It's 3rd and 9. Back to pass again. This one is thrown and caught again on the near sideline. This by Michael Alowo, and the Spuds are there. Caden Berg in on the stop. Also helping out on the play was Austin Altapede.
I don't know how he got that ball away. Christian Vega had him around the waist. Thomas Myers came up and hit him, and as he threw the ball, and somehow it still got completed. Unbelievable. And Moorhead's getting great pressure.
1:40 remaining. That play stopped, sets up Rogers. 4th down. 4th and almost 4. Line to gain the 32. Snap is back. Rolling left and looking. Volosic throws it off to the far side, and it is incomplete.
Wow.
It is incomplete along the far side into the Moorhead bench, and so the ball turned over on downs. That's the kind of game we've been watching tonight.
Absolutely, and again, that was so close, and being a catch, he was that close, and luckily for the Spuds, he didn't see the deep guy that put the move on and was all wide open down in the end zone, and he probably didn't have enough time to throw it. But hey, Spuds defense, they stood still and strong.
1:22 to go as the offense comes on. They're resetting the chains now. It'll be 1st down Moorhead at their own 36-yard line. They'll run it off the near left hash mark. Trey Feeney. Clock is ready to start, and the play clock is underway. Again, the 5 receivers, 3 right, 2 near left. Back to pass and looking, plenty of time. Ja'Kai Fitzpatrick makes the catch, but did he take a lick? A big, hard, and we got a penalty flag down in the area of holding.
And that's what it's going to be. And again, Ja'Kai just ran kind of a little in route, and boy, he got hit, but he hung on. But unfortunately, he's going to come back to left side. Moorhead's left side was holding that time.
So the penalty.
It's from the spot of the fall, so it's going to be like 1st and 22 now.
Moving it all the way back. The line to gain now is the 36-yard line. The line of scrimmage is the 22.
And I got to get to the 46.
Yeah, so 24 yards needed.
Yep.
As they readjust in the backfield, Trey Feeney leading 14-0, nearing the end of the 3rd quarter, 1:18 to go. Taking all the time that he can to get the play underway. Play clock is at 5, now 4. Now he steps up and gets it at the 2 count. It's wide open to the near side. As he slips past, he got sideswiped and brought down about the 31-yard line. He again had a lot of opening, and just a little bit quicker on that breakaway step, he was gone.
Yeah, he was real close, and again, a great decision by him too, because they actually brought an outside blitz. He said, okay, got everybody covered, and he was able to take off. And that safety came off his receiver to come up and make that tackle.
Clock is running. We're at the 48-second mark. 3rd quarter. Moorhead at their own 30-yard line. Make it the 31. Trey Feeney takes the snap and is set to throw. He's got his man, a diving catch at the 41-yard line. It was right there, and Brady Walthall is there for the reception, and that pickup makes it a little bit more manageable situation here, and the Spuds may not run this play.
No.
They don't need to with 20 seconds to go in the quarter, and if they elect not to, then we'll just turn this field around, and Spuds will go left to right, and the wind that had been blowing all day is basically cross field, so that's not that much of a factor as far as direction is concerned. So as the time runs out here in the 3rd quarter, we will return for 4th quarter action from Monticello On the Speakeasy scoreboard, it is Moorhead 14 and Rogers nothing.
Natural talent, physical gifts, training advantages. To become a champion, none of that matters. True champions are the ones who are comfortable working harder, staying later, and finding that competitive edge. They are never satisfied simply doing a good job, because those who transform themselves from local talent into local folklore are the ones who continually perform beyond their limits. Bell Bank, proudly supporting champions everywhere.
A quick return from the far sideline by the Spuds as they take their position. Call has been made at the sideline as they come out. No scoring in the third quarter. So far, everything on the board has come in the second quarter, and Moorhead leads at 14-0. Three receivers wide far left side for Trey Feeney on 3rd and 5. He nearly had the play called and then steps off to the side. You got to give a lot of credit to this offensive line for holding their position and not budging. Here's a look up to the near sideline and a diving attempt by Blake Wolthall. The first time we've had a good look to see Blake Wolthall in the formation, but the pass was thrown low and wide, just could not bring it in.
Yeah, and the reason it's thrown low and wide is that their defensive end on that side, Dominic Saharaj, hit him right when he threw the ball, and the ball if you notice, the ball kind of fluttered. He got him pretty good.
That's Ciala. You may not believe it, but that is Ciala.
Okay.
Dominic Ciala. Defending, yep.
Okay. My mother's maiden name was Zaitchik. Go ahead and spell that.
Well, then you should know that. Wide receivers left and right for the Spuds. And a quick boot by Trey Feeney. And they will not field it. They'll let it drop down at about the 37. Make it the 38-yard line. That's first down Royals. So on the exchange, not too bad field position for the Royals.
No, it was only about a 25-yard punt. Again, doing it from that pistol formation. You know, he's just trying to get a little bit on it. And that time it deadened. It was like somebody took a 9-iron and basically deadened it. Didn't get any roll at all.
Fourth quarter, first down. Rogers has taken over at their own 38-yard line. Here's the snap back and a counter play to the backside Dell, and somehow the Spuds were there to make the play, as they have just not seen a lot of misdirection all night long. But guess who? It was Thomas Myers that was in on the stop.
And he's playing that defensive end spot again, and they ran back counter, and he is so fast coming off the edge. He got off that tackles block, and when he cut that back, he was right there and basically dropped him for, 2-yard gain, maybe 3-yard loss? But a nice, again, Thomas Myers, nice play.
Second down and 13. Clap of the hand, and Ben Dahl goes in motion, then stops. Down the line, he leads the blocking. Then to play action, it comes back, and the catch is made. Another big, huge reception for the Royals, and on the stride, the run after the catch takes it inside the 30-yard line, where it is first down for the Royals.
Number 12.
And the reception made. We will have to identify him. So he hasn't turned his back to me to see the number. There is no 12 on the roster, but we'll catch up with that.
Again, and play action pass off that. If the Moorhead's corner was probably peeking in a little bit, got a little outside move, then went to the post, and luckily Berg was able to catch up to him.
In motion.
Jet sweep.
And there, the play bounced away to the far sideline, and out of bounds goes Logan O'Neill. He took it in stride. He didn't have a lot of room initially, but then got to the corner and turned upfield. And when it was all said and done, he's in the red zone at the 19-yard line.
Yeah, they ran the jet sweep that time where he's in motion, and they time it so the ball snapped, and it's a quick hitter trying to get him outside. And Moorhead defending that pretty good. Caden again was on that side to come up to make the tackle from his corner spot.
Tyson Volasic is the quarterback on this down. Receiver right, receiver left. 4 receivers in the formation, man in the backfield alongside Velocic, who goes to throw, and it's off to the far side and overthrown high and hard. Just wasn't going to have a chance to bring that one in, so the incompletion stops the clock with 10:33 to go here in the fourth quarter as Moorhead maintains a 14-0 advantage.
Yeah, they just ran an arrow route to the guy who's usually the blocking back, and he ran what I call an arrow route towards the sideline. And again, he had to get rid of the ball. If they went out play action, Thomas Myers had pressure on him again, Larry.
The big boys are in. Kyle Jackson is in the lineup, the wide receiver. A couple of wide receivers out. On this play, it is 3rd down and about 4. Again, Velocic. Man in motion to the far side. Here's Velocic on play action. Leaning back, throwing. He's got his man on the near side and a great catch at the 15-yard line.
Man.
Boy, he just reached up and snagged that one away.
Yep.
Jamal Dixon on the defense. And I tell you what, we've seen a lot of respect by both of these teams for their opponent tonight. As Owen Lefebvre came up, after making the catch, he gave Jamal Dixon a little pat on the helmet and said, nice job.
Yeah, and again, what he does, he fakes like he's running a go route and then does a comeback route. They ran bootleg off it, and the pass was perfect because he threw right on the break. But what a great catch.
To the 15-yard line where it's 1st down Rogers. And again, to the end zone it goes. It is up for grabs,
nice.
And it got dropped away.
Dixon knocked it away.
Jamal Dixon just a moment ago had a pass be caught in front of him. This time breaks it up in the end zone, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, tried to run that over the top or flare route, to corner route. And Dixon got up underneath it and out-jumped him and knocked it away. He almost intercepted it. But, again, nice coverage by Dixon.
Out of the huddle, Tanner Weiss goes far right side. Inside of him, Michael Olowo. Velocic takes the snap, turns, hands off and throws again. He threw it hard. And he was trying to hook up with his receiver on the near side, but it was too hard and too wide as he was looking for Owen Lefebvre. It's incomplete.
Yeah, when play action pass in, he ran a hard slant. And again, Jamal Dixon on the coverage on Larry. He had nice coverage on him. It had been a perfect pass for him to complete it.
Inside of 10 minutes now showing. 14-0 Moorhead. Kevin Feeney on the far side is leaning in. I think he's looking for an explanation of what has brought us to a standstill here. I'm not sure. I didn't see any penalty flags go down.
I didn't either.
But play has stopped.
Oh.
And
illegal hit to the head by an offensive player from them. So he just gave that
tap on the helmet.
Or ineligible receiver downfield.
There we go. There we have it. From the horse's mouth. 5-yard penalty, illegal participation to the 20-yard line, and from there it is 2nd down and 15.
Yeah, it's kind of cool with this setup here that it's not very often when we go to a high school football game and get to hear what the official says out loud.
Out loud, and correctly so. We're not used to that.
No.
3 receivers on the far right side as Velocic hands off to Bandal, and he escapes and slips forward, going down inside the 13. Ja'Kai Fitzpatrick, who is another one of the Spuds defenders who's having himself a pretty good night.
Yep, and he had to step, they had that thing. It was that inside trap again, or handback trap, and they had him at the line of scrimmage and just didn't quite wrap him up, and he's pretty strong. He was able to get out of that and pick up positive yards.
3rd down and 9 at the 13-yard line. Velocic rolling and looking, stepping up and then leaning back to throw to the end zone. It is zipped into the air and knocked away incomplete. That was going to be a completion, much like what we've seen thrown by Velocic, where his receivers go high into the air to pull it back. This one slipped away.
Yeah, and he had to because Jack Tyken was in his face, but now they're going to get a holding call on them also, so that's going to back them up even farther.
Well, the yardage will be gained by Moorhead's defense, but the down will have to be replayed.
Yep.
And so the march off again against Rogers.
Yeah, it's from the spot, so it's going to make it a long way back,
Puts it
Larry.
back at the 28-yard line. 1st down marker is at the 4. And for the Royals, 3rd down. 3rd and 23.
They just brought Mahmoud Yunus, and watch if they throw here, watch him get pressure.
Vlasic is in at quarterback. He has taken the majority of snaps here in the fourth quarter as he goes back to throw off to the far side, and that one is overthrown. His receiver deep was out of bounds. His receiver underneath was nowhere near. And so it brings up fourth down.
And you know what? You're going to have to credit Moorhead had very good coverage on him that time. They had receivers over the top, defenders over the top. Both those people were over there, and they stayed where they needed to be. He almost had to throw it away because there was nobody open.
Another in a long series of fourth down plays for Rogers here in the second half. If they convert, they keep the drive going. If not, Moorhead will take over on downs as we approach the 9-minute mark. And so with that, Ben Dahl is in the backfield alongside Vlasic, who leans up to throw, and he's got his man to the end zone and is tipped away. Oh, my, Jamal Dixon was right there. He jumped in front of the intended receiver. A perfectly executed defensive play by Jamal Dixon, and he's going to be in consideration.
Yes. That's two big defensive passes in the same set of downs.
Yep.
Right now, and that was huge. And again, how about Moorhead defense coming up big for the third time on fourth down?
You know, you average 49, almost 50 points a game in the first three, and that's what everybody's talking about.
Yeah.
And then you realize, you know what, the other team didn't score.
Yeah, they've only given up 18 points all year so far.
And against a very, very good Rogers team, it's 14-0. So the Spuds offense back on the field. And this play with 9:07 to go, it's on the ground, a rarity for Moorhead's offense, but now they're going to want to keep it safe and tucked away.
Yeah, went to the wham play, and then they brought in Keenan Went to be the ball carrier. Mahmoud Yonis is the blocking back. That time, pretty well defense. They got the one linebacker, but they couldn't block the middle linebacker, and he stopped it for a short gain.
Spuds come out of their huddle with Brady Wolfall to the near side, Blake Wolfall to the far left. Between the hash marks, Moorhead at their own 31-yard line. Play call change. Trey Feeney yelling right, leaning back, leaning left, or yelling left rather, before settling in. Play clock is at 3. Here's the snap back, and he looks and throws, and he rifles it to Brady Wolfall. And the execution between Feeney and Wolfall is that the throw is on stride.
Yep.
And so when Brady Wolfall catches it, he's already running at full speed.
Absolutely, and again, right out of the break, he ran that quick post or quick slant, however you want to call it. But it was right when he came open is when the ball is delivered. And you think they've done this more than once or twice in their life? Holy mackerel, they are
they spent all summer doing it.
Yeah, I know. I go over and watch them.
Yeah.
The dog will go, I want some of that.
8 minutes to go. 14-0 Moorhead here in the fourth. And as they change, Trey Feeney keeps his spot. We've got two blockers now in the backfield, and they will lead it off to the left side. Oh,
wow.
My. What a run across the 45 and up to midfield for the Spuds. A strong, strong running game, and Keenan Went picks up enough yardage for the first down.
Yeah, and they ran the double wham where Eunice went in the 3-hole, and Connor Heinisch got on the linebacker so much that he was still blocking him backwards when Went got tackled. That was a nice job, and Went, all he does, he just puts his head down and goes, I'm going to go.
7.5 minutes remaining in the fourth. Trey Feeney, they've changed up their formations here on this drive.
Yep.
With possession and late in the game, we've got two men blocking in the backfield along with a running back alongside Trey Feeney, and the call is made. So the blockers lead the way upfield. They've got play extending about 40, a long ways upfield, but the play behind it was stopped. Connor Heinisch was there, and he led the play upfield, but the play had already been brought down for virtually no gain.
Yeah, that time their defensive tackle on their left side, the ball was the wham play going in about the 1-hole, and he just came down and caught him for a short gain. But what was really cool to see was Moorhead's offensive lineman pushing people backwards when the whistle blew.
So with that short yardage run offense in the lineup, Trey Feeney, at the count of 3, takes the snap, leans back to throw. He's got his man out to the far side, and a leaping try there comes off the fingertips. Blake Wolfall, again, having the passes intended for him, just thrown wide and low, and he just simply can't go down far enough to pick that one up.
Yeah, and he was running a pretty much straight go and took the outside route with it, and when Trey threw it, he brought it inside instead of getting it outside shoulder. Tracy, he even walked up and went, "That was on me. That one's on me," he said.
Third down. Third down and 9. Moorhead at midfield. Trey Feeney, his blocking backs reassign a little bit tighter blocking scheme as Feeney hands it off. And
wow.
The run about to the 45-yard line. That's about a 4-yard pickup there and a hard hit. And again, it went on the carry to the 45-yard line, and it's fourth down.
Yeah, they tried to run. Basically, it's almost like a power play where both backs, one leads up the hole, the other one kind of pulls and gets up the hole. And he followed him as far as he could, and that's not bad running against that defense.
This play will be put on the field inside of 6 minutes to play. Blake Walthall wide, far left. Brady Walthall near right. Wings left and right. Trey Feeney. Nearly now the play. Well, we're waiting to see. The defender on the near side had very obviously stepped into the encroachment zone. Didn't have to make contact, but he did.
Yep.
And so with that, we will return. There's a fourth down and a Moorhead timeout. 5:35 to go. On the Speakeasy scoreboard from Monticello, it's Moorhead 14 and Rogers nothing. Coming out of the timeout, Moorhead goes into their short punt situation, a little pooch that Trey Feeney executed again just about perfectly. Off to the far sideline, it took a turn out of bounds. We've seen him roll his punts like that and keep the ball on the turf and roll down. This one didn't quite do that as he had hoped it would, but instead of angled out of bounds at the 25, and that's where Rogers starts over. So this second half, regardless of what you think about the big pass completions and all those other things, has been a defensive-dominated half. Here's the play on the run. Breaking loose. Another nice run upfield about the 28-yard line where the knee goes down. And make that about a 5-yard pickup. Let's see where they spot it. Yes, a 5-yard pickup. And Rogers now faces second down.
Yeah, and that, again, they just went back to bread and butter, run that inside isolation play. And they picked up 4, but I tell you what, with only 5 minutes to go, down 2 scores, you got to pick up more than 4.
And they're capable.
Yes, they are.
We've seen long passes. Haven't seen the long run yet, but we've seen the long pass completions. Here's the snap back, handoff up the middle, and again, Moorhead's defense is there. Big stop right at that point of attack.
Mahmoud.
And the play made by Maxwell Delbrun and Mahmoud. And Maxwell Delbrun, haven't had a chance to see him earlier. It doesn't mean he hasn't been in and playing, but he reached in and delivered a big tackle there to stop play, and Rogers has third down. 4:19. Back and then rolling right. Under some pressure, the pass is deflected away. Oh,
Mahmoud.
Big pressure, Mahmoud Jonas. Crashing through on the stop. Oh, my, he is having a great night, regardless of side, but bigger yet on the defensive side, Mahmoud Jonas with the quarterback. It won't go as a sack because the pass did get delivered and out of bounds, but it forced the play, it forced the issue, and it's 4th down.
How about Mahmoud, though? He's 5'8", and he's 190 pounds going against about a 200.
We've got how many people we're going to line up here for this?
Just going to give it to the whole defense.
There we go. This play at about the 4-minute mark. Back to pass and looking. And down he goes.
Fumble,
and
too.
the ball is loose. Well, it was 4th down. Moorhead was going to get the football. But, oh, my, Jack Tyken crashing through. He has such a great future, and the youngster comes up starting his future in a big way.
And he did. He really leveled the boom on him. I mean, that was, wow. He got off the block, comes up, wraps him up, causes a fumble. Doesn't matter who recovered because it's 4th down, but that was just a big, big play.
One thing Rogers will look on at the end of tonight is they have been able to put themselves in good position but unable to capitalize and to finish on turnovers by downs, turnovers by whatever. They just haven't been able to finish the drive. And when we take a look at it from Moorhead's side, they're going to say, you know what? We had something to do with that. We made the stops. We made them pressure and do things they didn't want to do. And so with that, 4:04 to go, the Spuds are on the ground with a 14-0 lead, and they're going to try to get this clock to run right along.
Yep, and you're going to see them take up all of that 40 seconds right now. And, again, just keep the ball around. Keenan went just piling it up, getting what he could. He got about a yard. There, maybe no gain, but that time they were kind of laying in wait and really brought it down inside. So we'll see what happens. But, again, watch this. He's going to snap this, Larry. You'll be looking. I'll bet you there's about 3 or 4 seconds left on the clock when he does it.
He's been good at keeping his line in place and allowing the clock to run down. He takes a quick peek at the play clock. There's one in front of him as well as one behind him, and he's taking all the time that he can. And just as it runs out, he throws to the near side. Catch is made. Brady Walthall trying to work his way loose, and he goes down at about the 16-yard line. And so with that, it's about a 7-yard, maybe a 6-yard gain on the pass completion to Brady Walthall.
He tries his hardest to break those two, doesn't he? Again,
he's slippery. He's just an elusive runner.
And again, just running that little inside hook, catches the ball almost on the run, and you never know which way he's going to go. And that time he tried to go back inside and didn't quite work, but more importantly, they got big yards on that.
Leaving 3rd and 3. Blake Walthall wide left. A run formation here in the 4th quarter for the Spuds as they nurse the advantage. Here's Keenan Went following his blockers. And everything rolls right along, and Keenan Went crossing over the 15-yard line. Let's see where they spot him down eventually. And whether or not it's a 1st down, we'll take a look. It is marked right at the 15-yard line, and so not quite enough.
About that much.
And less than a yard needed on this 4th. And both teams have faced 4th down situations throughout the second half.
Yep. And Moorhead is converted, and the other team had, except for when they do their quick punts.
And so the Spuds will line it up. And as they step up to the line, be wide out left, Blake, wide out right, Brady Walthall. Stepping under center. And on the run, it is Trey Feeney on the quarterback keeper to pick up the 1st down.
What a line surge that time, Larry. The center, we don't get to call his name right up, but Max Soeth got up in there. The blocking back, Heinisch, got up in there to help him, and Trey just said, I'm just going to ride my center for a big 1st down, and that's what he did.
Reminder, at the conclusion of today's game, we'll present our players of the game, brought to you by Bruce Johnson at RE/MAX Realty One. Proud to be a Spud Sports booster. Bruce Johnson at RE/MAX Realty One, our player of the game, perhaps players of the game tonight. 1:22 to go in the way. I'm going to give you a little hint. The way the defense has played, it might go in that direction. Here's a play into the end zone. Touchdown. Oh, my. Hey, we have it. Blake Walthall, and he got one. He got one before the end of the night. He hadn't been struggling, but to catch and get one in good field position, this one counted big.
Unfortunately, now we're going to get it for excessive celebration in the end zone. And so will probably go on the kickoff, Larry. But, again, the timing of it, that ball was thrown before he was open, and then he makes the turn, runs that outside leverage that he has on that route, and then comes back in and gets it. And the timing of the pass was unbelievable.
It was right there. Caden Berg now will hold, and first the explanation given by the referee.
Yeah.
So Blake Wolthall, very happy to receive a touchdown pass, showed it in excess. And so with that, the 15-yard penalty against that will be applied to the kickoff. And for now, Saif Alawi will attempt this point after with 1:16 remaining. It is back, it is put in place, it is on its way, and it is good. Saif Alawi, point after is good with 1:16 remaining. On the Speakeasy scoreboard, it's Moorhead 21 and Rogers nothing.
Your home for Boss Snowplows is Bert's Truck Equipment on Highway 75 North in Moorhead.
So with the excessive celebration on the Moorhead touchdown, the kickoff now will come from the 25-yard line by Alawi. And as often as we've seen him kick into the end zone and out of the end zone, I suspect tonight is not one of those nights.
No.
This is a long ways away. Here's the approach. And he lifted it up, and the return starts at the 30. To the far side, and out of bounds it runs. Caden Berg rushing the play out of bounds, and he quickly escapes and comes back onto the field. No, that's the T retriever that comes out, and it's picked up and brought back.
That would be the kicker.
Normally, you'd think so.
It is.
Saif Alawi. Sometimes there is a specialty coach for T retrieval.
Yeah, sometimes.
That's what I was.
The other thing that they do is then they have the specialty where they throw the tee all over the place before they come out and kick off with that little thing that Boomer's got that they do on the sideline.
It is sanctioned under Boomer and etc. Back to pass, looking and throwing deep. It is up for grabs, but out of bounds it goes. And those long passes are dangerous to begin with until you see that they're sailing out.
Well, and it's hard to be accurate when you have somebody like Thomas Myers, again, coming off from the right side, and he was hanging all over him when he threw the ball. It's tough to throw an accurate pass when you get somebody like Thomas on your backside.
That incompletion has brought the clock to the 1:05 mark. Moorhead appears to be putting a shutout up on the board. Wow. Against a very solid Rogers team who came in unbeaten. Here's the roll to the near side. Looking, leaning, throwing, again off the mark and wide in this one. Caden Berg on the coverage and into the bench of the Royals, and that stops play now with 59 seconds to go.
And he had to throw that ball before he wanted to, but again, here now we get to say Jack Tyken's name again. Jack came off the left side that time. They ran boot away from him, and he still almost caught him. And right when he threw it, he was right there almost to make contact, but he had to hurry his pass a little bit.
A near errorless first half has not been the case here in the second half. We've had a multitude of penalties. Face mask violation has been called.
On the tackle. Okay.
Against Moorhead, and so the ball has been moved up and across midfield and down at the Spuds 45-yard line, and it came with 59 seconds to go.
So they called it when he's trying to make the tackle. He caught him by the face mask.
Stepping back and looking, leaning under some pressure, down it goes, and from the coach's box alongside us, it is boom time.
Myers.
So another Thomas Myers sack. His numbers are astronomical here tonight.
Between that, the pressures, the sacks, and then also the tackles he's made when they tried to bounce to run outside. I mean, he and Tyken have had monster nights.
33 seconds to go. Here's the snap back and leaning to throw, and it's off to the near side, and the catch made by Logan O'Neill. And he stepped out of bounds to stop play.
Austin Altepeter.
Altepeter was there, chasing the play out of bounds, and a short gain to the 1 yard line, or for a 1 yard gain rather, taking it to the 44-yard line.
Nice job by Austin too, Larry. Just keeping the ball in front of him, and then when he makes the catch, he makes the tackle, and just playing good basic heads-up football.
25 seconds remaining. Back to pass, and thrown long and wide. Velasic has played the entire second half. We haven't seen that rotation of quarterbacks that we did in the first half. Velasic continues on every play. And we want to remind you, of course, that the Spuds are back in action now Thursday night when they entertain Brainerd at Jim Goda Stadium. 7 o'clock kickoff, but it's a Thursday game. And we've got another penalty flag down.
I got a feeling that one of the players from Rogers was walking. He walked past the official and said something. So we're going to get some type of not doing things correct.
Thomas Myers of Moorhead, Logan Neal of Rogers, both guilty. So results in nothing.
Nothing.
There's no penalty marked off one way or the other, and so the ball stays at the 44-yard line, and it's 4th down and 9. What could very well be the last play. The whistle blows, clock starts. Back to pass and looking deep it goes, and this one is up for grabs.
No.
And there are all kinds of people there. There were 1, 2, 3, 4 Spuds and 2 receivers. Knocking it away incomplete. Moorhead will put the ball to the knee with 13 seconds to go. Wow.
Oh, what I'm laughing at is that Keenan Went was there all by himself. He's all formed up to make the catch. And Austin Altepeter came and knocked it away from him. and they're shoving each other, and Keenan Wentz going, "Look, I was right here." Now we're going to see a knee.
So as they step up, Trey Feeney well protected by all of his players, and there's a player back deep just in case it gets away. Trey Feeney takes a snap, drops to his knee, and the Spuds walk out of Monticello tonight with a win, a shutout victory over Rogers. Look at our players of the game and a final look at the contest tonight when we return. Our final score on the Speakeasy scoreboard: Moorhead 21 and Rogers nothing. Shutout victory tonight over Rogers, 21-0, and with a shutout in the books, that means our players of the game, and it was rightful. We had a choice of about 12 players that we could announce. We're going to stick with what we talked about throughout. Jackson Goda had an interception, and then he had several plays that turned the tide, and then Thomas Myers, simply outstanding all night long. Our players of the game brought to you by Bruce Johnson at Remax Realty One.
Bruce is still there. But again, what a performance by the Spuds defense, Larry. I would never guess that they'd have ended up not shutting them down, but to shut them out with a quality opponent that Rogers was with the running game and the way they were able to throw the ball. What a tremendous day. And, of course, what you look at on the offense, it was just same old, short passing game, throw the deep one when we have to. And they controlled the ball and really controlled the game.
No scoring in the first quarter. All scoring for the Spuds until late came in the second quarter. as Ja'Kai Fitzpatrick hauled in an 8-yard pass to put the Spuds on the board. Later on, with time running out in the half, Brady Walthall hauled in a 5-yard pass to cap off an 85-yard drive, and the Spuds led in the locker room at 14-0. No scoring in the third, and we went deep into the fourth quarter before the final score went up when Blake Walthall hauled on in, and it came at the 1:16 mark with Saif Alawi going 3 for 3 tonight in point after tries. So once again, Jackson Goda and Thomas Myers are players of the game tonight as the Spuds get a shutout victory over Rogers. Join us Thursday night from Jim Goda Stadium in Moorhead when the Spuds take on the Brainerd Warriors. For Jake in studio and for Mac, this is Larry Knutson thanking you for being with us tonight. Our final score on the Speakeasy scoreboard is Moorhead 21 and Rogers 0.
I'm here now with our Remax Realty Run Bruce Johnson players of the game. We have Thomas Myers and Jackson Goda with us. Jackson, I'll start with you. You guys knew this would be a tough opponent coming into the game in Rogers, a top 5 team in the state. What does this mean to you to get this victory tonight, and how important was it to get off to a fast start on defense tonight?
Yeah, it's fun playing a good opponent. We were not supposed to have this game on our schedule. We got it scheduled, and we're really excited to play some good competition. And starting fast with these good teams is we got to take the momentum and try to keep it.
Thomas, you made a big play late in the fourth quarter there on that 4th down opportunity you got in the backfield. Tell me what you saw on that play and just what happened there.
All week we kind of repped that where they'd run away from me and I'd have a chance to get them from behind. So through all that practice during the weeks, it was like second nature just to read my down block and catch the kid from behind and make a big stop.
Jackson, you guys get your first shutout of the year in this game. You've had good defense all year long, but finally get a shutout. What does that mean to you and the defensive guys?
Yeah, it's big. You know, we're playing really fast right now as a defense. We're playing really together, you know, as a unit. We're bending, not breaking. You know, we gave up a few bigger plays, but we didn't break, and it's big.
Thomas, I'll come back to you now. The defensive line was in the backfield all night and getting some big plays on their quarterback and their running backs. What's the mindset of your group right now along the defensive line, and what's the mentality right now?
Our mentality, we just got to get back there every play and just kind of be nasty, you know, shoot your hands and get off the ball as fast as you can. And if you can get off the ball faster than the other guy, he's got no chance to stop you. So
that is our Remax Really Won Bruce Johnson players of the game, Jackson Goda and Thomas Myers. The Spuds get a victory tonight against Rogers, 21-0.